iHeart Podcasts. Hear more Gold 101.7 podcasts,
playlists, and listen live on the free iHeart app.
Yeah, it's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, it's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah.
On the cutting room floor.
I know you say you like animals,
I do.
but you don't want one.
No.
You've had them?
Had them.
You said you had a dog that was just a pooing machine.
It was a poo machine.
Well, that's what babies are, but you don't get
Yeah,
rid of
but
them.
it was no good for anything. It just run around like a nut. It'd bark at everyone and scare people.
If you've got a dog that's a nut, that's your fault. Do you acknowledge that?
Probably, but I was the only one that attended to it. The problem was the people in my house at the time.
Your family.
Yes, these people. Oh, we want a dog, we want cats, we want dogs, we want ducks. But they don't do anything with the dog. They like the idea of the pet, but they don't do anything with the pet. They don't walk it, they don't feed it, they don't clean up its poo. I'm the guy that doesn't want it, but I'm the one that ends up doing it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for poor Sammer, our dog, it was a cattle dog Rhodesian Ridgeback cross.
That's a big dog.
It was a nut. It was a full-blown nut. It was one of those ones I reckon you would have seen on A Current Affair that ripped some kid's face off.
Oh, wow.
It was a nut dog.
Where'd you give it?
I went to a farm, like a legitimate farm. A guy in Queensland, a farmer, we were living up there at the time. He came along and he said, this is perfect for a property.
Okay.
It's good at rounding up pigs and killing sheep. Rounding up sheep and killing pigs. Although this summer, I reckon it would have killed everything. It was a nut.
Wow. You gave it a good start.
And you know what? Years later, I was walking through a shopping centre and I thought I saw it, when I'm in Sydney. And I went, oh, my God, that's Summer. It was exactly the same breed and it was just going, rah. It was tied up to a post and the owner was in the supermarket. And it was savaging, people as they're walking past and they're pulling their children aside. And the owner came out and I said, what sort of dog's that? And he said, cattle dog, Rhodesian Ridgeback cross. He said, worst dog ever. And we chatted for ages. I said, I had one. And he said, what did you do it? I said, I went to a farm. And he said, this thing will be going to a farm.
Wow.
And then he went, wink, wink. And he thought that I meant that I put two bricks in it, in its head. Right. But no.
You shot two bricks into its head.
I went to a legitimate farm.
When we first got our Border Collie, the boys were, the dog is now 13 and my children are 23 and how old are they? 24 and 22. So they were,
yes.
They were 10 and 11, whatever. And I said, look, this is a Border Collie is going to be very smart. We need to all be on the same page when we train her. It's interesting because Jack was so little, his voice was high. So when she would run behind him and nip at his ankles, and we had to say to him, turn around and use a deep voice like they teach you in bark busters and go, bah. He had to fake a deep voice. And, of course, now she's an elderly dog and the boys just love her and they call her their hairy sister, and every time they come over they just shower her with love.
She is a very sweet dog. Your dog is the absolute opposite
But she
of what
wasn't.
my dog
And I spoke to some guy the other day who used to have a Border Collie and he said that his dog had passed away 4 years ago. He waited 2 years to get a new one and he said he'd forgotten how hard a puppy is, particularly a Border Collie pup. He said he'd seen a meme, which is true, a cute little fluffy puppy, 2 years of Velociraptor, and then a very loving dog.
Yep.
Those 2 years of Velociraptor in the middle are very, very
But you
hard.
went to puppy school. You had a puppy trainer.
We did all that.
And I remember she said to you, when you get home from school or work, find something else to do. Don't just...
Don't lavish the dog.
And what did Jack say?
I don't know.
What if I haven't got anything else to do?
That's so like Jack.
So,
what if I don't have something else to do?
What if I come home and I've got nothing else to do but play with the dog?
Well, the reason I bring up dogs is our dog now comes up and loves a scratch. Most dogs love a scratch. And here's why. Dogs experience a state of euphoria, a natural high, when you rub their ears because there's a dense network of nerve endings in their ears that trigger endorphins and oxytocin, which are the natural feel-good hormones. They reduce pain, promote relaxation. The process activates the parasympathetic nervous system, so it calms them, puts them in a content state. And it does the same for us. So because it slows us down and the dog has a moment of connection with you. You don't just pat it in passing. If you take a moment to scratch your dog's ears. Have you seen, I've seen lots of footage of people sticking their fingers in dogs' ears and rolling them around, or, scratching right inside the ear, and the dog just goes, its eyes roll back and its head, it just loves it so much. So if you do have a dog, that touch isn't just a gesture, it's a message to the dog, and it receives it loud and clear.
Wow. What about that time when Minnie ate all that grass and there was a big blade just sticking out of a bum hole?
Imagine the satisfaction when I pulled it out. We both got a little bit of something out of that.
Been both eating grass since.
Okay, kids, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow for more Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.